A cure for Rett syndrome. That has been my goal for the last 22 years. Ever since the day my then 2-year-old daughter was diagnosed with Rett. The day I made her a promise that I wouldn't rest until Rett was cured. A year after Chelsea's diagnosis, Huda Zogby discovered that mutations in the MECP2 gene cause Rett. I had just started the Rett Syndrome Research Foundation, and for the next 7 years, we funded many projects in many labs, accumulating an extensive knowledge base about MECP2. In 2007 came Adrian Bird's landmark paper that shook the Rett world and beyond. Rett symptoms, at least in mice, were dramatically reversible. Yes, reversible. Suddenly, everything changed, and anything was possible. Adrian and I and several parents started the Rett Syndrome Research Trust, RSRT, with the goal of striking Rett at its very core. Our philosophy: go big or go home. We identified every possible genetic strategy to boost MECP2 levels, 6 strategies in total. We brought together leading labs to focus on key objectives in a collaborative rather than competitive fashion. We launched the MECP2 Consortium, the Gene Therapy Consortium, the MECP2 Reactivation Consortium, and an RNA editing effort. Some of the world's greatest scientists put their heads together on behalf of our children, generating an incredible amount of great science. But that great science had to find its way to biopharma companies where therapeutics are developed. With RSRT funding, discoveries from Adrian Bird's lab in the MECP2 Consortium and Steve Gray's lab in the Gene Therapy Consortium were licensed by Taysha Gene Therapies. RNA editing discoveries from Gail Mandel's lab in the MECP2 Consortium were licensed by VICO Therapeutics. A leading DNA editing company, Beam Therapeutics, launched a Rett program. Shape Therapeutics and Herophilus were able to make Rett syndrome their lead programs because they had access to patient samples from RSRT's biorepository. Rett is also the lead program at Alcyon Therapeutics, a company collaborating with Sanchita Bhatnagar and Catherine Meyer, both of whom began their Rett research with RSRT funding. As recently as 2017, there were 0 companies that were pursuing MECP2-targeted therapeutic programs. As of today, there are numerous companies with publicly disclosed programs, and even more, who are exploring adding Rett programs to their company pipelines. And let's be clear, these are not companies testing a repurposed drug in hopes that it may have some palliative effects. These are companies that have designed what they believe will be transformative therapeutics that attack the root cause of Rett. Every single company pursuing an MECP2-targeted program is doing so because they leverage discoveries and resources that were generated with RSRT funding. That is an impressive track record. It's one that I'm proud of, and it's one that my colleagues and I plan to not only continue, but to expand on. So let's take a collective moment to acknowledge just how far we've come. Progress made possible by an amazing partnership between Rett families, scientists, clinicians, and RSRT. Progress achieved together that now makes it possible to realistically ponder a cure. But our work is not yet done. Until we have a commercially available therapeutic that dramatically improves our children's lives, we cannot rest. This is not the time to slow down our efforts because we've succeeded in attracting some biopharma companies. This is time to do the opposite. Leverage the momentum that we're seeing by expanding our effort. There are avenues that we have not yet fully explored, avenues that may lead us to the answer that we're all waiting for. We need to continue to incubate curative programs and to continue to transition these programs to biopharma. and we need to support and expand the projects that are essential to efficient and effective clinical trials. There are no guarantees in science or in business, and that's why we need as many shots on goal as possible to maximize the likelihood for success. The bottom line is we need each other. You need RSRT to keep doing what it does best. We have a proven track record, and you can count on that to continue. And we need you to fundraise so that we can keep doing our critical work. So I'm coming straight to you, Rett moms and dads, siblings, grandparents, aunts and uncles. We're the ones who have the most at stake. We're the ones who can make the biggest impact. Those of you who've supported our efforts, you're a big reason we've gotten this far, and I'm excited to continue working with you. But if you haven't yet joined our effort, if you were waiting for the right time to get involved, now is that time. We are launching a new campaign to mobilize Rett families in the U.S. and around the world. It's called Join Us. Together we cure. We need you, all of you. So please take that first step. Get in touch. Email us. Call us. Join us. Together we cure. Thank you.